Health Show. Coming up, we've got actor Ed Begley Jr. speaking out against fluoride, plus how GMOs are causing deadly bacteria to flourish in our guts. And on top of it all, yet another kidnapping perpetrated by the loving CPS. Coming up. Well, here's more wonderful news about the destructive properties of genetically modified foods. Not that the idea of genetic modification research for more abundant food sources, which is safe, is a bad thing at all, but it's not that's not what we've seen from the major producers of GM food. We've heard them say that the safety of GMOs are the FDA's problem and that they are only concerned with selling as much of it as they possibly can. In fact, as Philip Angel with two L's, said in 1998 in a New York Times article entitled Playing God in the Garden, here's what he had to say about his concern with safety of GMOs. He said, in quote, that Monsanto should not have to vouchsafe the safety of biotech food. Our interest is in selling as much of it as possible. Assuring its safety is the FDA's job. Monsanto's Director of Corporate Communications, New York Times Magazine, October 25th, 1998. Well, now here's a recent study which further outlines the dire need to remove GMOs completely. I mean, I'm all for labeling, but I think the real issue here is to ban them entirely, like some other countries have already done. Well, listen up for this gut-wrenching news. GMOs are causing deadly bacteria to flourish in our digestive systems. Well, we already knew that GMOs were bad, folks, but, I mean, just the evidence keeps pouring out in their destructive properties. Listen to this. This article by Christina Sarek on naturalsociety.com. As many experts have suspected, GM foods tainted with the omnipresent agrochemical Roundup are causing widespread changes in the microbiome of those who consume them. Well, we already knew that these GMOs were wreaking havoc environmentally, destroying biodiversity and contaminating organic crops, and even going so far as to contribute to the killing off of the vital honeybees that provide the vast majority of the produce and the food that we eat. Well, now actor Ed Begley Jr. is campaigning against water fluoridation. He's speaking out about its dangers, citing a Harvard study which shows that fluoride lowers IQ. And you can find this well-documented Harvard study on ehp.gov. Developmental Fluoride Neurotoxicity, a Systematic Review and Meta-Analysis.
Hi, I'm Ed Begley Jr. You know, back in the 50s, doctors on television told us cigarettes were cool, fun, and harmless. They also told us adding fluoride to our water is good for our teeth. But did you know 41% of American children now have dental fluorosis? You want your children's teeth to look like this? You think that's bad? How about your child's brain? Well, scientists at Harvard University published that fluoride prevents proper brain development and lowers IQ.
So if people have to wear hazmat suits to handle the stuff because it's so corrosive it eats through concrete, and you're warned to call poison control if you swallow your toothpaste, then why is it still added to the water we drink, cook, and shower with?
The good news is countries like Israel and cities like Portland, Wichita, and Davis, California have rejected fluoridation, and we can too. So here's what you want to do. First, get all the facts at fluoridealert.org. Second, go to fluorideprotection.org for everything you need to protect your family from fluoride. Then, work with your city's fluoride awareness group to get this poison out of your community's water.
And you can catch that full video on Indiegogo.com, as well as a bunch of resources to follow this on. They've got information on water fluoridation, pertinent questions regarding the fact, such as, you know, if we're told it's healthy for us to swallow in a glass of water, but then again, toothpaste companies are forced to warn us to call a poison control center if we swallow the equivalent dose in toothpaste. So, I mean, these are very important questions that need to be asked. There's some pictures of teeth with dental fluorosis, and, you know, contribute to the cause. It's a worthy cause. Get this fluoride out of our waters, quit reducing the IQs of our children and future generations. And CPS is at it again, kidnapping children from loving homes without there being any history of abuse or neglect. In this particular case, it was because the family had decided to home birth their babies and use natural treatments and breastfeed them, which breast milk is a complete food for the infant, and it carries all the calories, the vitamins, and minerals. It is the best for the infant, as it is the perfect proportion of them all, from antibodies to the exclusive nutrients in mother's milk, which prevents a number of childhood diseases. But they were basically kidnapped by CPS for deciding to home birth these babies. And we'll check out this article. This from medicalkidnap.com, where a couple's children were taken away from them by CPS because they chose to home birth. And we're seeing increasing stories here where CPS storms in and takes people's kids without a history of abuse or neglect or anything, based on these faulty charges. You can see the family with their children here, with their babies, and down here, the mother with their child. Never any instances of abuse or neglect, yet the state storms in, CPS takes their kids because they decided to home birth. It was only natural for Erica to choose normal family-centered birth. Erica herself was born at home and says that her mother was a home birth educator. So they knew what they were doing, and let's see, the medical system got involved. Sometime after the babies arrived in October 2, paramedics arrived to find the twins nursing and everybody doing fine. The twins weighed over 5 pounds. The paramedics allegedly verified that everybody appeared healthy. The paramedics allegedly recommended that they go to the hospital for evaluation, which is standard procedure. But then CPS shows up. The parents believe that because they chose not to go to the hospital at that time, somebody called CPS. A couple of social workers showed up the next day and wanted to see all of the children. CPS told Erica that they were here to help. Now, you remember, folks, whenever you hear that, I'm from the government and I'm here to help, you should probably run the other direction. When the social worker found out that eczema, that there was some eczema on the Levi's skin, Erica told her that she was treating it with some herbal remedies. And that's another thing they don't like. Oh, you're using some herbal remedies. Now you've got to be supporting this big pharmaceutical agenda with their chemical compounds and you know. So that was probably a red flag for CPS right there. Home birth and natural remedies. We got to take these kids right now, put them in the system, and get them brainwashed before they grow up to be, normal thinking, healthy adults. It's just completely insane. So then the CPS takes custody of the children on November 6th. The CPS showed up to the front door while Erica was softly singing and playing her guitar to her resting babies. And when she checked the door, they told her that they were there to take the children, citing neglect for not giving Levi steroids for his eczema and the home birth without medical prenatal care with the twins, as well as the allegations of abuse, accusations which Erica had already assured them were completely unfounded. And so the question that they ask here is, why are children with no history of abuse being taken away from loving parents for medical reasons? And that's a very good question. You can read the full article here on medicalkidnap.com. Well, that's it for this episode. And as always, if you enjoyed, please like and subscribe. And I will see you next episode.